Mic check. Turn me up in the headphones. Listen, welcome to the Philanthropy N Black podcast. I'm your host, Sally Sell. We're about to talk about when politics and philanthropy beef or meat and beef. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Shreveport, nonprofits, 50 Cent, investments, all the things, and how we can be better as a sector, all right? Let's go. We're getting into it, y'all. We're getting into it. Okay. Imagine somebody gave your sister $500,000 cash. Let me say that again. Imagine somebody gave your sister $500,000 cash. Not a pledge. He ain't tell you come back and get it, but just gave it to her. And it's going to the house. And it's going to make the house better because your sister going to break bread. But then you mad. Or you big mad. Or you mad. I can't argue with you. Let me stop. Let's focus in, y'all. Today on Philanthropy N Black, we're going to break down what happens when generosity meets politics and why some nonprofits stay broke even when the money is right in front of them. Man, listen, let's get into it. We're going to get right to it. So 50 Cent, went to Shreveport, invested in renovating these two studios. And be clear, he got film tax credits from the state, the city of Shreveport threw in. He threw in his money. Great things happening, big things popping. So on the flip side of that, he's gone and donated $500,000 to 9 nonprofits. Drop a bomb for that. Jeez, that's big. Listen, that's big. $500,000 to nine nonprofits in that area. Now most of these orgs are small orgs. These aren't multi-million-dollar organizations. These are, probably a budget of $1 million, if. Some of them probably $500,000. So they're in a market in Shreveport where you don't have a lot of, like New Orleans, really. We might have individuals that have high wealth, but we don't have Fortune 500 companies. So here's 50 Cent, high wealth individual corporation, and he also has a foundation, G Unity Foundation. Check that out. But he gave this $500,000 to these nonprofits based around domestic violence, child abuse victims, so on and so forth, like this place called Gingerbread House. Great nonprofits doing great things. The donation was private philanthropic giving, not city-controlled funding. Say that again. The donation was private philanthropic giving, not city-controlled funding. That's very important because 50 Cent didn't donate to politics. He didn't donate to a campaign. He gave directly to nonprofits doing real work in domestic violence, child abuse, community impact. That's what we all call mission-aligned philanthropy. Man, it's beautiful when... again, he could have gave this money to a politician and he might still be giving them a little money or something. We don't know. That ain't my business. That ain't my ministry. But what I do know is that he put his money where his mouth was. Like he actually donated to 9 nonprofits. Here's the problem. Here's where things got ugly. So you break bread and, you're probably as 50 Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. Get Rich or Die Trying, a.k.a. robbing these industry. You're probably just doing the Lord's work. It could be grimy, but you're probably doing the Lord's work. Then you get called to the carpet on it. Like in our culture, when you go to certain cities, they say you got to check in. So I think one of these city council was like, yo, what's up? What's up with that money, man? Like, I need you to break bread with the people. And so what apparently happened, allegedly, is that this city council member called and he was curious as to, how the donations were distributed, why certain groups were included and others weren't. Some residents, they just kind of thought that the money was tied to the city. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. The criticism created confusion and public tension. 50 said, I ain't got time for this negative energy. Yeah, and he also said, get your hand out of my pocket. Get your hands out of my pocket. Get your hands out of my pocket. Big 50 ain't about to check in with y'all people. Listen, now here's where it gets messy. The city official stepped in, but he didn't step in to say thank you from what I'm reading, not to highlight the nonprofits from what I'm reading, but to question the distribution of it all. Amen. Let the church say amen. Like, why didn't my people get a piece? And I get it I get both sides. As a politician, you're looking out for your people too, right? You want to say, hey, my district over here, we doing good work. Can we get some of that? But I think you got to go with the thank you first, like send the thank you note. I think that's what it is. But let's talk about the money and who controls it. Like, because this is about donations, this is about donors, this is about 501c3s, and I'm gonna share this with you. So donors, private donors, they choose where their money goes and are not obligated to distribute equally. Listen, Mackenzie Scott been dropping millions of dollars on institutions for years now, particularly HBCUs, and I've done voodoo rituals, rain dances, prayed. Drop some of that money where I work, cause we broke. But you know what? Never happened. Never happened. That's not a process you can apply to. Your work speaks for itself, and we'll get into that in a second. But the misunderstanding was the public thinks donations is, they thought the donations were public funds, and they weren't. They come out of that man's pocket. The risk of that is over politicizing giving discourages future donors. That's it. You put the politics with the dollars, and the other donors gonna go, oh, we're not going over there. What they doing over there? We're not going over there. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to be mindful that, congratulating, thanking, and being praiseworthy. I used to, here we go. I used to, when I saw donors, I worked at organizations and I saw my donors or our philanthropic partners doing great, donating to other organizations, I sent them thank you notes for doing that. It wasn't coming to my organization, but they were still doing good work. And I wanted them to know that I see you. And that's important as a nonprofit. You can't just send a thank you note when it's your money. You got to send it when it's impacting your community. But that's a word for another day. So the bigger picture is this. 50 Cent is not just philanthropy, right? It's kind of economic investment because, you have the studio, you're going to bring jobs, the film tax credits, all the things. Film and entertainment projects coming to Shreveport, long-term impact. They have a 30-year lease with this. 50 has a 30-year lease with the city. And so, and listen, y'all, the lease monthly is $200. I don't know how that works, but you know what? Tax credits. That's what I'm gonna say. But you got job creation, industry development. So the pattern is strategic giving, economic development. That is beautiful. Like they know what they're doing. They know what they want to donate to. They want to see the community they're in do better as well. So they understand that their strategic giving plus economic development is good for Shreveport. Shreveport, do you know if it's good for you?
Oh Lord, you're killing me.
Shout out to OG Murder. Listen, this is not a random charity. 50 Cent is building something in Shreveport, film, media, economic development. So the 500K, that's not just generosity. That's relationship building with community infrastructure. Woo, that is a word. Drop a bomb for that. That is relationship building with community infrastructure. That's dope. That's dope, man. And here's the lessons for the lesson for my nonprofits. That's what this show is about. That's what my experience. This is what my experience leads me to tell you because I love you. Philanthropy. Look the word up. Here we go. Number one, visibility matters. Nonprofits. The orgs that got funded were likely known, trusted, or connected. And again, not multi-million-dollar international nonprofits. Homegrown nonprofits. Look them up, 9 of them doing the work. Number two, access beats need. The most deserving orgs isn't always the one that gets funded. Just because you out here paying for street sweeping that's your mission, I don't mean I want to fund that. I like the streets dirty. Just as an example to understand, like, just because you have a great mission, that doesn't mean you're going to get funded. Your mission is your mission, and how you embody it and tell that story, that is important. Number three, stay ready. If a major donor showed up today, would you even have the capacity to receive $50,000, $100,000 from a donor? What would you do with it? Do you have a plan for it? Many nonprofits, particularly smaller ones, do not. It's a lifeline. It's a lifeline. And be clear, this might be a one-time gift. They may never get this kind of money again. So it's going to, another podcast, we'll talk about how nonprofits should be investing certain large gifts and what the strategies are there. Number four, the last one, don't politicize opportunity. It scares the donors away. Do not politicize the opportunity. It scares the donors. Nobody wants to get into politics. Listen, so your donors, some of them really like to be anonymous, excuse me. Some of them really like, what was I saying? Anonymous. Oh, drop the bomb. Okay, so back to it. Some of your donors, they don't want the publicity. They don't want the politics of it. They're giving because of the relationship in some way. So let's keep that in mind. All right. So let me say something that might hurt a little. Donors don't fund needs. They fund relationships. That's what I was trying to get into. They fund relationships. Relationships still matter. Like, please believe you could have a great mission and you could be really in need. But if I don't know you, if you're not authentic, if I don't trust you, if I haven't heard your story, if your volunteers or the maintenance guy or the board members isn't bragging about what you do, why should I care? Why should I care? So instead of asking why didn't they get the money, the real question they should have been asking is, why weren't we in a position to receive it? Let's go. Culture check. Oh my God. Community reaction was really split on this. So some people got it. Some people was upset. So the community itself was, just like 50-50, just like I am, 50-50, pun intended. Social media, people defended it. Some people question the political motives. There's always, somebody dropping money. What is he getting out of it? What is the donor getting out of it? We don't know the answer to that question. He chose to donate his money to places doing good. That's what we know. That's on record. It's in the bank. We don't know all of the backdoor deals, right? And hopefully there aren't not any. Hopefully it was just 50 doing good things in Shreveport, because Shreveport deserves it. You don't criticize someone for giving. You ask how to build more of that. That's what you ask. Like, those other nonprofits need to get in a situation where if your nonprofit is waiting on fairness, you're going to stay waiting. I wanted that's Mackenzie Scott money. It would have changed everything I did at our job, but she didn't see us. And she didn't see us for reasons I'll get into. But if you build relationships, credibility, what is wrong with my man? Let's go again. But if you build credibility, visibility, relationships, you don't have to ask where the money is. You won't have to ask. The money will find you. It truly will. Like, putting your story out there consistently through the vessels that work, volunteer, donate, receive help from your nonprofit, they have to embody it like the gospel, and they have to go out and make disciples amongst others. That's what your mission should be doing. So, in closing, Shreveport, big ups to y'all. Like, y'all did the thing. I'm proud of that city for what y'all about to do with 50. I'm proud of those nonprofits. Again, these are, from what I saw, boots on the ground organizations doing work. They're not performative in any way whatsoever. They're really, truly doing the work. So we want to always give them love and support them and make sure they do good things, right? So again, folks, this is the Philanthropy N Black podcast. I am your guy, Sally Sell. We're going to get back into more of these podcasts, breaking down how we can help nonprofits stay in the black, socially, economically, and of course, morally. You feel me?